very good evening to one and all. Welcome to RAK Talks, our Sunday seminar session. Just a little introduction. RAK Academy of Dance is South India's premier dance company, having over 3,500 events to our credit and having trained over 85,000 students worldwide. We have been part of some of the nation's milestone events, be it corporate, television, film, etc., and currently having over 16 centers in the city. So it's a great pleasure to be hosting this evening. I am Sandhya. And today we thought for a change, why don't we start with some fun? So we are going to have a small game session for both kids and adults present here. And I would encourage all of you to be active in your chat box. You can type in your responses in the chat box and we will be looking at them. All right, shall we start? Is everybody ready? Shall we start? Great. So now I request everybody to turn your attention to our screen. And I'm going to show you an image. Yes, the kids can come on your video. You can switch on your video if you would like. And here we go. So I'm going to show you an image and you have to spot as many animals as possible. Okay? And the first one to mention the most will be the winner. All right, here we go. So start chatting away. Please post and make sure you post all your answers in a single message so that we know who it is by. You can start posting away. Now, children, kids, adults, all of you there, how many animals can we spot? So I can see 1, 2, 3. You'll have to name the animals, by the way. Name the animals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that it? So we have dog, cat coming up. We have one person saying elephant. We have Jeffrina who has said elephant, cat, dog, whale, mouse, and mule. You have spotted a mule. That's great. And who else? 8. Wow, it's going really fast. Okay, Ramana Balaji. All right. Elephant, dog, mouse, mosquito, dolphin, bird head, snake. Okay, fish, rabbit. I didn't see the rabbit. I can't find the rabbit. All right. Do we have more responses coming up? Okay, alligator, dolphin, mouse, turtle. Wow, we have a lot of responses over here. Tortoise. Okay, that's great. Any more responses coming up? Okay, Pradyut has said elephant, horse, dog, cat, mouse, fish, tortoise, shark. Okay. Aldam sir, hi, it's such a pleasure to see you here. I'm so glad you've joined us today. So he has elephant, dog, cat, mouse, mule, whale, fish, tortoise. I think Aldam sir is in the lead so far. Ramana Balaji sir has added fish. Okay. All right. Fine. Are any more responses coming or are we all interested in seeing the answers? What do you think? Any more? Prawn. Okay. Vinod Kumar has identified the prawn. Very good. Samyukta, donkey, mouse. Okay. Samyukta has actually sent me some 3-4 messages. So I think even she's in the lead now. She has identified the snake too. Okay. Great. Dolphin. Okay. So fine. Okay. I think most of you have covered most of it. So let's see. Shall we see the answers? Are you all curious to know what are all the answers? Okay, fine. So here we go. There it is. So we managed to get fish, birdhead, dolphin, crocodile, hen nobody got. There it is. Can you see the hen over here? There's a hen, there's a prawn, there's a mouse, cat, a swordfish. Wow. Okay. There's a snake here. Yes, you guys got it. Elephant, and there's a beaver. Nobody found the beaver. All right. Okay. Now, here we are going to see who has the fastest fingers. Okay. Now, the first 5 people. All right. Hear me out carefully. First 5 people who volunteer on the chat screen will get to play the next game. Go. The first 5 people. Come on. First 5 people. Say yes. Me. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We've got our 5 people. All right, we've got our 5 people. So first, I'd like to invite Budya, or is it Vidya? Oops, sorry. Okay, Vidya. Is it Vidya? Can you
Yeah.
please? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah. Can you come turn on your video, please? We would love to see you. No. Okay, fine. No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the game that we are going to play is the 5 second rule. All right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I will give you 5 seconds and I will ask you to name 3 things. Okay. I'm not going to give you that right now. You will have to name 3 things in 5 seconds. Okay. So when I
Three?
say, I'll tell you, I'll give you three, I'll give you a specific category and you will have to name 3 things in that category. Okay.
Okay.
And when I say go, your buzzer will, I mean, your timer will start. And at the buzzer, at the end of 5 seconds, there will be a buzzer. So to help me out with this game, we have Arpita here. Arpita?
Hi.
Hi. So she's going to
Hi.
help us out with the timer and the buzzer. So Vidya, are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, you may think it's easy, but it's not as easy as it sounds. So here we go. Okay. Be ready for your first question. Now, name 3 planets in the solar system. Go. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll try again. So when I say go,
No.
you
I thought I thought I have to type it. No, I have to say it. Is it?
yeah, please say it. Please say it.
Oh,
Okay,
I thought I just typed it on my chat. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. We'll go again. We're just getting
Okay, fine.
started. Okay.
Okay, fine.
So
Okay.
now, are you ready? So when I say
Yeah.
go, please tell your answers and in the span of 5 seconds. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Great. Okay, your second question is name 3 things that are blue in color. Go.
Water, sky. Oh.
Okay. I think there's a
Sorry.
technical problem. Water really doesn't have a color, does it?
White. It's colorless. It is colorless. I know.
Okay, see, this game is tricky. So your final
Yes, I know.
question, name 3 things you find in the kitchen. Go.
Spoon, stove, and no, in this.
All
Yeah.
right, great.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
playing with us. Okay,
Thank
so
you. Thank you.
next we have Vishwajit R. Vishwajit. Do we have Vishwajit R?
Vishwajit ma'am.
Vishwajit's mother?
Yes.
Okay, are you willing to turn on your video, ma'am?
Not.
Okay, fine. All right, no problem. We will go ahead with the game. So are you ready, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, so your question for you is name 3 jewelry stores in Chennai. Go.
Sorry.
Name 3 jewelry stores in Chennai.
Kalyan Jewelry, GRT, and Sarana Jeweler.
Not bad. Very good. I hope Okay, well within the 5 seconds. Very good. Next question. Name 3 famous female singers. Go.
Susilama, Chitrama, Janakimma.
Wow, someone seems to be rocking this game. Excellent. Fine. Okay. Next question. You ready?
Yes.
Name 3 red colored fruits. Go.
Tomato, strawberry, cherry.
All right. Okay. So, tomato is a fruit or a vegetable?
Okay, vegetable. Yeah.
Okay. It's okay, ma'am. You've done really well. Thank you so much for playing with us. And next we have Adish. I think Adish, the parent of Adish.
Yeah, it's me.
All right. Ma'am, are you willing to turn on your camera or should we just proceed?
No, it's fine.
Okay, fine. All right. Arpita, you ready with the timer? Shall we go?
Yes, Akka.
Okay. So the question for you is name 3 Disney characters. Go.
Cinderella, Rapunzel, and no, I don't know. Brave.
Sorry?
The girl in Brave.
Brave, the girl in Brave. Okay, I'll give you that.
Got her
It's
name.
okay. Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to test your geography skills a bit. Name 3 mountains. Go.
Mount Everest, Mount Kilimanjaro, and Mount Alps. The Alps.
Sorry. Did you name the third one?
Yeah, the Alps.
The Alps. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't catch that. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Good. You're doing well. The next question for you is name 3 dance styles.
Name 3.
Dance styles. Go.
Oh, the dab, the boogie, and the billy bounce.
I must say you're very current. Huh? Very good. Thank you. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much. The next volunteer we have R. Anand, the parent of R. Anand. The parent of R. Anand is here. No? Okay. Parent of Kirtana?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. So, all right. Are you ready to play the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. All right. The question for you is name 3 pets. Go.
Cat, dog, hen.
Sorry?
Cat, dog, hen.
Okay. You know, some people keep pigeons, some people keep parrots, you know, birds. All right. Great, great, great. So we'll make it quick. All right. Next question. Name 3 things you dip in ketchup. Go.
Chapati, bread.
Oh, all right. Okay, okay. You're getting inventive with your options with ketchup. All right, great, great. Okay, fine. Your final question. Name 3 zoo animals. Go.
Tiger, lion, monkey.
Okay, I think we have a winner. Great, great, great. Good speed. Thank you so much for playing. Okay, now the last final person to play with us. I think we have a regular with us, so I'm going to call them on because they have been attending all our sessions. Arnav Power's parent, you're here.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Great. All right. Are you ready to play, ma'am?
Yeah, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, fine. All right. Your first question. Name 3 superheroes. Go.
Hero Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, and Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay, so the question was name 3 superheroes, but it's okay. There are superheroes too, so I'll give it to you. No problem. Okay, fine. The next question, again, it's going to be a bit of a geography quiz. Are you ready, ma'am? Are you
Hello,
ready?
ma'am?
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
your
now
next question,
Yeah.
name 3 countries starting from A. Go.
A. Antarctica, Australia, country, Australia.
Geography has always been very tough. I agree. Okay, fine. Your final question. Name 3
Yeah, ma'am.
chocolate brands. Go.
Dairy Milk, Milky Bar, and dark chocolates.
No.
No?
Dark chocolate is not a brand. It's a kind of chocolate.
Chocolate.
Okay. Anyway, this was fun.
Only chocolate. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for playing along. Thank you so much. It's time to start our session. So sit back while we go into our session. Yes. So before that, we have a special wish for our colleague Anto. I would like all of you to join me in wishing him today. It's his birthday. So how about we all, are the kids there? Can we all sing happy birthday for our Anto master, Anto sir? Are all the kids there? I request all the kids to come off your mute and we can all sing for him. Yes? Okay, here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Wishing Anto a very, very happy birthday from the team and all the students and parents over here. A very, very like to invite Mr. Ramana Balaji to address the audience.
Hello, dear parents, my dear friends. Very, very good afternoon. Really glad to see overwhelming response every week in Rock Talks. And this time, I think we have invited our friends from various fields, from our event fraternity, my friends from BNA. And thank you so much for joining us. And this is an initiative from Rock Entertainment Company. The idea behind this is to build a beautiful community. It's not only dance, where dance can help us to see beyond. That's the whole idea of Rock Talks. Thank you for all your lovely support. And without a delay, let's get into the talk show. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramna sir. I'd now like to invite Mr. Devakar to address the gathering and talk to us about the initiative.
Yeah, thank you. Sandhya, is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. No, it's a great opportunity to share. It's one of the theme which we are really working in Rock is that are we building a right community? I still remember a story which I have read it in the African tribes called Maasai. Generally, we used to ask them generally is how are you? But in this tribe, they ask a question called and how are the children? And if a response comes from the parents that the children is good, then it means that life is good. So that was an inspiration for us to build a community that we are not teaching only dance. Are we building a right community for our younger generation? And we really want to have that as a principle in our Rock fraternity that instead of asking, how are you? We want to ask all the parents that, and how are the children? And if the parent says that the children are good, it means that as part of our commitment as a dance company, that we are doing good. So that is the whole thought behind of building this community. And thank you very much for consistently supporting us to make it as a big. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so with no further ado, I'd like to introduce the speaker for the session today. So we have with us a multifaceted personality, a multi-talented personality. And if I have to mention to you what she has learned, what she has achieved, it's going to take me a while. And we have with us Miss Ekta Seth. She's an image consultant, an etiquette coach, and a psychological counselor. So her qualifications include BA, CS, MCom, MPhil, LLB. She has an international certificate image management, international certificate in etiquette and protocol, and she has done various diplomas, and not only in this, in a various fields also. When it comes to her passion, she's really passionate about being an etiquette coach, a corporate trainer, an image consultant, a counselor, a career guidance coach, and a personal coach too. And when I spoke about her multi-talented personality, some of her skills include being a baker, a jelly cake artist, a soap maker, a photographer, an artist, and a dancer too. So we are really waiting and we're excited to hear what you have to say, Ms. Ekta Seth. Over to you.
Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you so much for the introduction. And hello, everybody. Before we even get started, first thing that I would like to say is this huge thanks to RAC, to Ramana and the whole team for organizing something so interesting. Even in these tough times, to be able to create a community where there is knowledge sharing, where we don't restrict it with art, but we go on, to do this. My association with Ramana has been for very long. I would say that with a lot of pride that I was one of his first students. And I started my dancing career in college with him as my tutor. So it's very nice to see that it's been growing every month, every day, every year. So I'm quite excited to be here. And there are two reasons for that. One, because I'm a parent. So I know absolutely what all you parents go through, the roller coaster ride, especially when lockdown is happening, and the commitment that we have for our children, wanting to give our best to our children. That's something that I'm very close to. Now, the other reason that I really am excited about today's talk is because whenever I do this talk, it is always either with college kids or with corporates. Now, when I'm doing this particular topic with them, after I finish my talk, a lot of people come to me and tell me, Madam, neenga idella solradhu correct. It's very interesting. Idella enikku chinna vayasle theranja, I would have been so good. The whole process would have been so much easier for me. Because now it is a little difficult to get into this system. So keeping that in mind and seeing how much you as parents are putting this effort and the whole team is putting effort to bring it here, let's start with this whole session. As we start, something really important is that, like you just experienced, I don't have, my Tamil is not so great. Okay, so it's like, if you speak in Tamil, I will definitely understand. But if I speak, I have no guarantees you will understand. But I will try my best to answer all your questions in Tamil. So as the session is going on, the session is an interactive session. So you can help me wherever you want. It's a conversation. So you can ask me questions. I will answer them. It can be in Hindi, in Tamil, in English, and I will try my best to share my knowledge with you. So as much as it's an interactive session, I also want you to keep in mind the time constraint so that all of us get the best out of these sessions. Yeah. So putting these rules together, let's get started. Now, one of the most interesting topic it is, right, to say that good impression. I want my child to have very good manners. I want him to have a good impression wherever he goes out. And, people talk good about him. So I'm opening this question to all of you. And as I open this question to you, it is that, just give me a second till I share the screen. Okay. Yeah. So my question to you is that, and you can type it or you can just, unmute and tell that, what according to you is image? So what do you think is image? Can you guys, hello?
Yeah. Can I say?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Image basically is like the first thing the people get into their mind when they think about us. For example, if they think about
good.
my name, the first thing that they get into their mind, the splash or whatever it is, the first thing they get.
Yes. That's a good point. Also, there is no right or wrong answer, so you can just go ahead and answer whatever you think is right. But thank you so much. I can't see your name, so I'm sorry I can't address you with a name, but
I'm
if you can
Vidya.
introduce yourself. Vidya. Thank you
I'm
so much
Vidya.
for sharing that, Vidya. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Anybody else who would like to share? Is there anybody else? So a lot of times, okay, I'm going to help you here. Okay, that a lot of times people tell me, Madam, image na, it's something like an attitude. Or if you see a person, the attitude that he's carrying. Well, some people say that it is how humble they are. Some people say how well spoken they are. Or some people say, Madam, adu or vibe. Paatha odane, I will like that person. So that's the kind of vibe, and that is how impression is. Well, like how Ms. Vidya said that, it's about the first thing that a person thinks of when he's thinking of you, which is a very good thing. So how is this impression made? And I remember, which is like, this is a very cute thing that happened with me when I was doing a session in a college. And I was asking this question, as usual, the startup question, that, okay, what is image? And these people, so one of this really confident guy stands up and says, Madam, image is white. So I was like, what? I didn't understand. So he said, no, ma'am, vella indana or nalla image varum. So that was like, it took me a second to even understand what she was saying. And I want you to hold this thought as we go through the session, because I will come back and tell you, where this thought came from. So whether it is the vibe, or whether it is about dressing really well, or it's about appearance, or it's about the first thing that comes into your mind if you're thinking of a person, or it's about 100 other things that, you will list as we are talking. It is right that it is one of it, and it is also right that it is all of it, right? So image is like an experience. So when we talk about image, one of the most important questions that I always used to struggle initially was that, why are we so particular about image? Like, why do we need an image? Why do we need good impressions? And then, as I read and as I was doing my research, I realized that as human beings, we love to interact. I mean, just look at us now, through these tough times, we can't step out of our house, but here we are all interacting with each other, sharing knowledge with each other. So it's really important as human beings. It's like one of our traits that we want to interact with people. We want to be in a community. We want to have this feeling of belonging, that I belong somewhere, that people like me, people talk good things about me. So this is something that we are very attached to when it comes to impression. So it's important for us to be in a community, and we thrive to be in a community. And one very interesting thing that I got to also understand with impression was that, it's not like a one-day time. Like, okay, so today's my interview. I'm going to wear this nicely, freshly pressed shirt with a nice tie, and I'm going to be there in the interview, and I'm going to have a good impression. So, it's not about just one day. Impressions that is continuously created. So one of the most important aspects about impression, consistency. So whether you like it or you don't like it, because a lot of times, in a lot of sessions, people say, ma'am, Adala is not important if you're good in your studies. Because I know a lot of our parents used to tell us that you're a doctor right there, or IAS or an engineer, you become and your life is set. Then when you become the engineer or the doctor and you go for a job, you realize that, yeah, the degrees are really important, and I'm not negating that. But with that, there was something else also that was required, right? The ability to create these human connections, these experiences, I call them. And when I say experiences, it's about how I'm interacting with you right now, or how you are interacting with your family. So whether we like it or we don't like it, it happens every single day, every single minute, right? So from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go back to sleep, you are interacting with people. It could be your spouse, it could be your kids, your in-laws, you step out of the house, it could be your help, your driver, it could be employees, boss, everybody. So you are leaving an impression. I mean, it's going to be really funny, and I'm sure all of you will agree, is that right now, we told one of our kids, okay, that the uncle, just imitate and show me. And he would just in a second, repeat the dialogue, what he says, or act like the way he acts. And all of you will be like, yeah, right, he is like that. So now the thing is that he's not, this friend of yours is not making an effort. It's just a part of him. So two important things. Impressions are created, whether we like it or we don't like it, consistently, okay? And they are a source of our human interaction. Keeping these two in mind, I want to share this knowledge with you, that how can you make this as an advantage for yourself? How can you make it easy for yourself so that you don't have to, put that effort every day that, oh, today I have to talk like this, or today I have to dress like that, or today I have to, do something that people remember me. It should become like a second nature, right? So we're going to look at how, through this whole session that we are having, that how can I express myself so I can impress better? And as I say this, I mean it for all the parents. When I'm sharing this, I'm keeping the kids in mind. I'm sure there's a lot that we will also take through, but how we can help our kids, like I said, start early so that they can create these impressions. A lot of times, I remember in one of those PTA meetings, before the meeting had started, we were all like in the room and we were talking. And a parent, like a very, very smart parent, very, very knowledgeable, very interactive parent, was very fluent in Tamil. So we were talking, and I was, talking with them in my broken Tamil, and we were having this good time. And when the session started, I see this parent sitting in the last row, okay? And wasn't even answering any questions, because my sessions are generally very interactive. And they weren't answering anything, and not much. They were like, 2-3 of them. And after the session got over, they came to me and they were like, ma'am, it was such a nice session. And then again, we were having our talk. So I was curious and I asked them, and I said, ma'am, you seem to know so much about the subject, and we spoke so much earlier and even now. Why didn't you interact in the audience? And very innocently they said, ma'am, English therilla. And I was like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, but it would give a bad impression. My son comes to school here every day. What will they think? And it was very touching for me. And I felt sad also that, even though there was knowledge, even though there was confidence, something was holding them back, that they couldn't express and let other parents know that the knowledge they had. These are little stories that I'm sharing with you to make you understand that it is important that we let our kids express and not hold them back anywhere. And like I said, as humans, interacting is very important for us. Now I'm going to play. I enjoyed the game that Sandhya was doing, and I'm going to continue that with you all. And I would want you to either type it. I don't know if I can see the chat, but I'm just going to go.
I can help you out. Ekta, I'm here.
You can help me out? Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so looking at this picture, okay, just one sec.
Yes.
Yeah. So I showed you 2 pictures now, right? And as I'm showing you these pictures, something important that is that as humans, we have 5 senses, right? Eyes, nose, mouth, ear, and touch. These are the 5 senses that we have. And I shared 2 pictures with you. The previous one, yeah, this one. And I want you to tell me, what is the sense that you use when you're doing this particular act?
Parents, please, yes, post on the chat box whatever whatever comes into your mind.
Anything, yeah. And something you can just read them out for me.
So Divakar sir says taste. Ajit Hassan's parent says smell. Shivaraman Subramanian says a visual effect. Pinky Ganga Vignesh, taste and smell. Nuha's mom, eyes. Indu, feel. Ramana Balaji sir, eyes, feel, colorful, flavors, sight, taste and smell. Presentation by Madan Raj. Yoga Chitra ma'am, hi, hope you're doing well. Taste, smell, feel, color. All right. Ramana Balaji sir says art.
Yeah, so this is one picture. Now, how about this one? What is the sense that you're using to enjoy this picture?
Nature. Okay. We have to go with the sense. Yeah.
With the
feel,
sense, yeah,
eyes,
the 5 senses. Eyes,
feel,
nose,
ears.
ears.
Ears. Okay. There's
Ears, touch. So, what are you?
reflection, nature at its beauty, eyes. Most of it is eyes, actually. The responses
right?
that are coming
Yeah.
in,
Thank you.
eyes.
Thank you. So, yes. So, we have 5 senses, right? And it's interesting, the examples, I mean, the senses that everybody said, whether it was food, whether it was a scenery, the one that is associated with food is your mouth, okay? The one that's associated with nature, to see beauty, is eyes. But, the irony is that the eyes will only enjoy the nature, or the food that we are going to eat through our mouth is only going to be pleasurable when all the 5 senses become a part of it. Like how everybody said interestingly, you have to, whether it's food, you have the eyes, it should be very pleasing. The presentation has to be very nice, right? You should be able to hear that sizzling sound in that kitchen and you're like, oh my God. And that aroma comes in and you're like, there is this fresh rasam somebody is making. And then when you look at that, there are some other rice or the dessert and you're like, oh, this is going to be soft cheesecake. Only when all the 4 senses have enjoyed the anticipation of the food is when you will actually put it in your mouth. If any one of it, okay, if it was like you had like a nice cheesecake and you had something really like garbage right next to it, would you still eat it? Even though you know that it's going to taste very well, okay, but there's garbage or there is a burnt smell or, it doesn't feel, it feels very clumpy. So even with kids, I'm sure all parents will agree that even if it's a little bit of a tweak in your food, they'll say, I don't want to eat. It's not like what you make every day. And you say, no, Kana, it tastes right. And you're like, no. So whether it's food or it's scenery that we were looking at, right? If the scenery is so beautiful, but there's garbage right next to it, or there are thousands of flies for some reason there, or there is this loud sound that's going on for like a good long time, you don't enjoy it. And that's something very important that I want all of you to hold on to, because that's what impression is all about. So impression is again an experience that you're having. You're having it with people that you're meeting. And when you're having this experience, it's about the 5 senses. So like how everybody said, and what I shared with you, that, some said that, yeah, it's something that pops in their mind, or it's about this image, or, this attitude or well-dressed appearance, or how beautifully they talk, their confidence. So everything is relating to one of your senses. Now, if all these senses come together, when they are presentable, when they speak really well, when they're very kind and they're listening to you, when they smell, they're groomed very well. And when you shake hand with them and when they come across as this really nice person, when all these five senses are having an experience, it becomes so easy to leave an impression. And I have with all the research and all the years that I have put into this, I've realized that if you are able to create a five sense experience with the people that you're meeting, or every day in and out, it's a sure shot goal to success. So is there somebody who's wanting to share something?
No,
looking
no,
at
you
now,
can continue.
Yeah. So looking at it now, there's something very important. Okay, I've understood that you need the five senses. You need a five sense experience to have a good image. Okay, so what should I do in every sense or every image? And a lot of times we say that, right? That wear good clothes and go, it'll leave a good impression. And we have seen a lot of people that they may be wearing the best clothes. And I want to break a myth over here. Is that image or impression is not about wearing good clothes. Like I said about the parent, it's not about your ability to speak in English very fluently or any particular language. It's not about brands. It's not about how beautiful people think you are, but it's more about how or what you think you are inside. So no matter how much we talk about, impression means you have to wear a three-piece suit, or you have to wear like the perfect dress, for a perfect occasion. What's important is that you believe in who you are inside. And that is the most easiest way to leave the most, everlasting impression with anybody you meet. And that's why I want you to take a minute and tell this to yourself, okay? That I am beautiful, both inside and out. Yeah. So why remember I told you about that statement that I said about this student who was very confident, and he said that Vella Indada, it's image. That is what it is. And he was one of the toppers in class. So when I after the session got over, I asked him, and he said, "Ma'am, that's what my parents taught me." My parents said, "Smart, smart as in studies. So you're very smart in studies. You're very this thing. But kunjo vella indana, you would have had that charm. You would have kept that image when you went out." And I think that was the day when we had a conversation, and I remember this person so vividly, because the whole conversation changed a lot for me and changed a lot for him as well. Because I remember that we both had tears in our eyes when we finished the conversation, and he said, "Ma'am, today I'm able to understand that I had everything that I wanted to create a good image. It had nothing to do with my color. It had nothing to do with anything outside. It was about what I believed I was, I am inside. And that's how I created an image." And for him, it was a turning point. For me, it was me stop telling people that, you should be wearing these clothes or that. Then I started and realized that, no, it's about how you believe inside. And why I bring this up is that please, as parents, do not tell your children that, hey, Gundu, inge vada, or what do you call, I'm not so fluent in Tamil, but, things like small things. If he's short in height, okay, and you call him kulle, or what do you call, so you don't brand a child with things that he is not comfortable about. As parents, I know that it's not intentional. I know that our parenting was like that, and maybe we also went through this. And a lot of parents tell me that, so, but ma'am, my parents brought me up like that. I never felt bad. And parenting has changed through times, and this is something that breaks a child. Rather, I would say that tell the child what he's great at, what is so beautiful about him every day in and out. So that, because all of us have flaws, I'm sure you all will agree that even today, whoever you think is the best model or the best actor or the best role model you look at, they are striving every day to become better than who they were yesterday. A model with a 26 waist will be working out every day to make it 25. Okay? So it's not about if I'm thin, if I'm fair, if I'm tall, if I know English. There is no if. It's just about who you are. So like I said, it's about the inner self. So when you have a strong sense of self, it will show in your clothes. And here I would like to share something very funny is that as a mother that I experienced is that my son, when he was really young, he used to wear clothes, which used to be like orange shorts and yellow t-shirt, which for me, I was like, oh my God, I'm an image consultant. What are you wearing? This is not even a combination. And I used to be like, no, you can't wear this. And I remember very nicely, he said that, Mama, but this is what I like. When I look at myself in the mirror, I like this. I remember for me, this was one of those learnings. For me, parenting personally is more about learning from your child than teaching him. Because every day he comes up with something new. So when your child makes choices like this, and as we go, I will tell you that when he's choosing, at that very young age, they start choosing clothes on their own. And they will pick up the most, I would say, hideous combinations from where we look at it, orange and yellow, or blue and pink, all these things. And it's okay. It's absolutely okay because they're creating a sense of self. Okay, if they have good values, if you are teaching your child good values, the value will take him to take care of himself, take care of the world, whether it's about grooming, whether it's about presenting himself outside. Okay. Now the attitude that you give him, if you are giving him the right attitude, it will show in his body language. And I know that a lot of parents come to me and say, my child, he will listen, he will do. But when he goes for a birthday party, I am so embarrassed. Or when he goes, like when he meets 4 or 5 kids and then he's hitting a child or, he's doing things that I'm not very happy about. So there again, I would tell you that it's the attitude that he's seeing at home. Okay. Now we talk about eat with a knife and a fork, which is very important as table manners, but that is the last thing. Okay. What's most important is that what is the personality trait that you're creating for your child? So that he brings that as a part of his etiquette. So now I'm just going to, 1 second, stop the share. Yeah. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to take a second break and maybe open it out for you to ask me some questions till we get into the detailing of how, as a parent, you can work on these things. Yeah. And if you have any doubts, you can shoot it right away to me.
Ekta, this is Divakar here.
Yes.
This question is as a parent. Okay, I have 2 kids. My elder one is studying grade 7 and my younger one is grade 5. My elder one is always a little bit shy and he's not opening up. Do you want to share some information? Is it related with his self-image inside he is having? My younger one is very open, extrovert, and she speaks very well with all and then to do it. Can you throw some light on that? It would be great.
Sure. Thank you, Divakar, for sharing this question, which is a very common question. And as parents, I'm telling you this, that sometimes we don't ask questions thinking that, oh, it's just about me. But no, questions that you put across, invariably parents have it as well. So like how Divakar is saying, and I know that I'm a parent of 2 children, and I know that somewhere, I think we've been tuned to understand that just because they are my children and they came out of me, they too are going to be 2 same people. Okay. So we believe that both of them are going to be same. So we put them in the same school. We are expecting them to be the same type. And we sometimes forget that they are 2 individuals. So a child can be an extrovert and a child can be an introvert with the same upbringing. A lot of times parents ask me that, it's the same upbringing. It's the same house. I do the same thing for both of them. Why is this one talking so much and why is this one quiet? But that's his personality. And as to Divakar and to all the parents, I would say is that please do not try to change the personality of a child because you believe that extrovert will win. Or, like typically what they taught us, that extrovert is the best when you go out in the society, or having a particular job is the best. Please, let's open our minds and open our thoughts to the idea that he's quiet and he likes to be quiet as far as he is communicating with you. He may not communicate 24 hours. With Divakar, I shared the same concern. Eventually was that, earlier was that I have a daughter who is absolutely quiet, who doesn't speak a word. Whereas I have a son who is this Entu Patani, jumping around everywhere, wanting to do everything. And I remember telling my daughter that, why are you not like us? And she said, why should I be like you? I want to be me. So Divakar, I would tell you this, that, let them just be, as far as your communication channel with them is open and they're happy being that person. So just keep it that way. And they will create an image for themselves, a complete impression that they want people to understand of them if you let them explore as well. So just be there. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Is there somebody else who would like to ask a question? Else, I will continue sharing how we can, get through this understanding.
Any questions? Parents, you can use this opportunity to clear whatever queries come to your mind at that point of time instead of waiting till the end also. No, I think we can proceed, Ekta ma'am.
I'm presuming that, they are in the same page with me. Yes, Ramana.
See, generally what happens now when we go for shopping, especially for kids, the mom buys something, the dad buys something, and we end up buying something. See, generally what happens now for us, there are a lot of channels, and like people like you, we come approach you for build up a neat wardrobe. Nothing called a formula. It all depends on the personality and your choice. But there are certain rules. If you can follow that, it will make a lot of sense, so that you can match different outfit to different things, so that you can avoid unnecessary wastage of money to look yourself neat and good. What are the suggestions you give, especially for parents, in regards to the children? Because we spend a lot of money in their clothes. Sometimes they don't even wear those clothes. So what is your light on that?
Yes, that's a very good thing. And I am going to, Ramana, answer that question as we go through this, because the next one is that. So keeping Ramana's question in mind, yes, it's very right. A lot of times, and I don't know how many of you still today, I know that till I was 16 or 17, I think my parents were buying my clothes. So I had no say. They would buy and I would wear it. I loved it. Okay. But it was not like a stay. My mom was like, this will be nice, and take it. And we would wear it. So I don't know how many of the parents are guilty of doing this. And I would invite you to change the scenario. And so we were talking about the formula for creating good impressions, right? So it's inside out. It's a 5 sense experience, and it is continuous. So you cannot stop it. You cannot avoid it. So we have to create this impression. Let's work it for our benefit. So the first person that we meet the minute we wake up in the morning is not your spouse. It's not your child. It's not your mother, your mother-in-law, or anybody. It's you. You're the first one that you meet every single day. Okay? And I want you to first have a 5 sense experience with yourself. So whether it's picking up the orange shorts and the, yellow top, it's the experience that you're having with yourself. You like it, and so you're doing it. Right? So now we've understood 5 sense experience. We've understood it's continuous, and we've understood that it's an experience that humans crave for. So how do we create this experience? 3 important things to create this experience, and that would be your appearance. So it's like A, B, and C. Okay? So it's your appearance, it's your behavior, and it's your communication. What Ramana just shared is going to come under your appearance. So let's just get into appearance right away. And I would give you some tips, but as a parent, I would appreciate that you start giving some responsibility to your children in terms of selecting the clothes. Whatever age they are, let them choose what they want to wear. If it is something that is not appropriate, tell them that, Kana, this, if you wear for a birthday party, will look really nice. And the best way, whether it's appearance or behavior or communication, the best way to do this is you model it for them. So when you're going to a temple, you dress up differently. When you're going for a business meet, you're just dressing up differently. When you're going for a wedding, you're dressing up differently. So inform your child that, these are things we do. Talk to them. Keep this communication open. And when you go out shopping for your children, take your children along. Tell them beforehand at home that we are going to be buying maybe 5 t-shirts for you because you don't have t-shirts when you go out for parties. Or we're going to be buying shirts because further down there is a wedding in the house. And we are, these are the functions. There is a sangeet, or there is a cocktail, and you're going to be dressed for it. What would you like to wear? Then you take him there and you show him that, how important it is to be able to choose. Let him choose what he wants. Now, when you're shopping, you talk to him. So, one important tip that I would like to give all of you here is that as parents, whether you're working in any field, or whether you're a housewife, or whether you're, as going in for board meetings or just conferences, just about anything, the thing is that you're wearing white. Okay, all of us do wear white. So whether it's a white shirt or a white salwar or a white sari, you invariably, and not just white, it's about any color. So I will take white as an example. Now, talking about white, I will give you this tip. How do you choose a white? Because as mothers over here, I'm sure that they will understand that if you say white, there is not one white. Okay, if there'll be one off-white, there'll be one green white, cream white, there'll be one egg white, there will be one cream. Like, you will have shades of white when you say white. Now, how do you choose a white that is good for you? And whenever I ask this to parents, they say, we just put it on us and whatever looks nice, we just pick it up. So I'm going to give you this tip, which is that whenever you pick up a dress or anything that is white, you put it on yourself and you make sure, and this is something very important, is that you make sure that the white that you're putting on yourself is not brighter, okay, than the white of your teeth and the white of your eyes. It should not be brighter. It's not like a Rin ad or a Surf Excel ad where, it is shining bright, but you are looking dull. Because a lot of times this happens, I'm sure we have experienced it, is that when you go out, you're wearing this perfect white shirt, white dress, and then people tell you by the end of the day that you're looking very tired, you're looking very dull. And you're like, no, I'm fine, I had a good day. So it has nothing to do with you, but it's the color that you're wearing. So if this white is going to be bright than your white in the teeth and the white of the eye, you're going to look very dull. So educate that to your child when he's also picking up a white. And make sure that you pick up, whether it's black, we're looking at. So every color has this. I'm sure a lot of mothers here will agree that, wearing a red lipstick is so difficult. This is something that I want to break a myth, is that whether it's a red lipstick or a red tie, it is not difficult if you understand the shade of red that looks good on your skin. So when you look at a skin has an undertone. So the undertone can be yellow, it can be green, it can be this reddish purple. Depending on that, you pick up the color. So like I'm saying, black. If it is black, you're wearing, like a lot of parties go through, black again is a very staple little black dress or a black shirt that we have in our wardrobe. Make sure that the black that you're picking up is not brighter than the black of your hair. Okay, so if your hair has a particular texture, so when you keep the black on you, this black and your shirt black, your hair should be more black, like more bright and vibrant in that shade. That way you would look much nicer because you want people to notice you and not your clothes. So appearance has something to do with this, whether it's black, whether it's white, whether it's any color, whether it's red, it's blue. Okay, each color has a story to tell. And depending on the stories, understanding the color, please pick up the color that you wear. This is for parents. Pick up the color that you wear that helps you convey that story. So something like red. Okay, red has its own meaning. White has its own meaning. And it's very beautiful to understand that when you say white, sadness also has white, peace also has white. Boring is also white, and peaceful and nurturing is also white. So if it is a color, both of the extremes of that color come in that color only. So when you're going for a meeting or when you're going for a party or negotiation for that matter, make sure that you choose the right color. One very important tip, I don't know how many fathers are here, or otherwise the mothers can share it, for anybody who's going in for meetings, is that when you go to meet a client, make sure that you have one of the color from their logo, their company logo, as a part of your wardrobe. So whether you're wearing, so if you're going to meet a Facebook CEO or you're going to go meet a Zomato person, so you know the color of their logo. So it's blue or it's red. Make sure there is an element of red. Like, don't wear a red shirt and go, but to wear something that has a little bit of red, that has a little bit of blue. Now, what is the idea behind it? The idea behind it is that when I see something familiar on you, I feel like you and me are same. Okay. And I feel this connection with you. So when I see the color of my logo, it is very subconscious. It is not that I'm searching somebody to wear it, but it's very subconscious and they will pick it up. So now I think I've shared some good amount of stuff for parents. Now let's look at how we can do something for our kids. Somebody wants to ask something? Okay. So with kids, like I said, when it comes to appearance, keep talking to them. You know that when you go to a temple, especially, I don't know how many teenage parents are here. So it becomes very difficult. When they go to a temple, they want to wear what they want to wear, whereas you would want them to wear something particular. So you start, one, modeling it for them. Two, letting them know that this is a place to wear these kind of clothes. This is a place to wear these kind of clothes. So once they understand that, you don't have to repeatedly remind them that, oh, we are going to a temple, please wear this and come. They will know it. Okay. Something very important in comes in appearance is not just clothes, but it's also about grooming. Please make it a habit, not just brushing teeth, especially in Chennai, with the kind of weather we have, to be able to have a bath twice, to be able to take care of their basic grooming, whether it's their hair together, whether it's oiling their hair, their skin, and do it with them every day. Something that kids learn very easily is not by what you talk, but what you actually do. So it's your action. So if you are taking care of yourself every day, they see it and they do it. But if you are not, so if you are on your phone and you're telling a child, don't be on your phone 24 hours, especially on the dinner table, it's not going to work, because the first question that today kids ask is that, why do you have it? And then you will try and say, no, but I have a business meeting, but I have this. They don't understand that. So please model it for them. Please make sure that clean appearance is a part of your family tradition. Whatever you wear, it is nothing to do with I wear a sari or a salwar, but just being clean, being groomed should be a part that you teach a child from day one. When he goes for a sport, comes out, he should have a bath. When he is going for a birthday party, irrespective, it's a party at 4 or 5, he should have a bath, get ready, and then go for it. So this is, and then one of the most important thing to do with posture, with appearance, is posture. Now, how do they sit at home? I know a lot of parents complain that they are on the phone playing PUBGs or Fortnite, and they're always sliding their back. They're literally there. Yes. Is there somebody who wants to share something?
I don't know. They seem to be coming on unmute a lot. You please proceed. Please proceed.
Okay. So something that all parents tell me is that, when they're playing games or when they're on their phone, when they're doing their homework, especially now when there is this whole lockdown and all sessions are happening online, it's so easy to just take your laptop and slide, on the bed, not sitting upright straight. So these are things that you tell your kids right now, that your posture matters, because that's how they would be standing when they're standing in an interview or sitting in front of a board meeting. They would be slouching back like this, and sitting like this, which obviously is not a good impression to put in. One way is that you make sure that you're sitting straight, upright, and also correcting them very politely, not nagging them, but correcting them politely that they should be able to do this. Now, something that we talk about, like I spoke to you about the previous session, is please do not talk about appearances at home. Don't judge people on appearances. A lot of times, parents love their kids, so they pamper their kids. But when it comes to talking about out people, like your relatives, your neighbors, your friends, you address them like that. Andapaya, Andagundupaya, So you go off to branding them on their appearance, which the kids are certainly picking up. And when they pick up these things, they eventually start doing that when they are in school. So please don't do that. That's something that I would invite you to kind of avoid, whether it's branding your child or branding anybody for that matter. Now, when we're looking at appearance, the second thing that we spoke about was behavior. When we talk about behavior, again, it's about modeling it. Now, modeling behavior is not telling your child, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. I know that a lot of times when I'm interacting with these young kids and I ask them, oh, what is your name? And this mother standing right there will tell, what's that? Ramana. Or they would say, Sandhya. Let the child talk. Let the child be able to communicate. so that the child is able to get out of the fear that he has. We say, oh, he's so shy. The child is hiding behind you. Let him talk. Give him the time so he can express himself and say, whenever, even if it takes 2 minutes extra. Which school are you studying? What standard? I know a lot of parents ask when you have this play date and your child and their child are coming together, and then the mother is asking all the questions, answering all the questions, and the child is just standing there. And I'm inviting you that, to stop this behavior, but rather tell your child to take the initiative to talk. One of the most important things to create a good impression is also that you teach your children the 5 most important words that we learn, right? It's thank you, it's please, it's may I. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's please, it's sorry, it's excuse me. So, and by telling the child, oh, unukku school le katti kudukalaya indha maadhiri pesudhu, what is your school teaching you? Didn't your teacher teach you how to say thank you? Rather, I would invite you that you do this to him or her whenever the child is going through something, when the child gives you something, when the child tell the child thank you, tell the child, so these are the things they pick up. And something very important they also pick up with behavior is not what you're telling them, but how you're treating people below you. So whether it's your staff, whether it's your house help, whether it's your younger siblings, how are you talking to them in front of everybody? If you are going to talk to them in abusive languages and say, oh, it's fun, we just talk like that, we grew up like that, kids will learn to talk like that. So a behavior has a lot to do with how they are picking up your behavior when they are subconsciously seeing you. Even when you are on the phone, you talk to your boss on the phone and you hang up and then you say something really bad about the boss, your child is picking that up. I remember a lot of times this happens, which is very funny and cute, is that parents come to me and say, what do I do? My child, I live with my in-laws, but when I go to my mother's place, I will be telling something about my mother-in-law. She did like this, she did like that. And then my child will come back home and tell my mother-in-law, Amma was telling all these things about you to Pati. Now it becomes very embarrassing. So I would tell you that this becomes again a behavior which kids will take as a part of their impression creation, and they will use it in later life. So try to avoid this behavior because this will help create good relationships with them. Now we're talking about communication. Now communication is something again extremely important. So we're talking about appearance, we're talking about behavior. That is like a ticket to a match. Okay. So if there is a cricket match happening or if there is a concert happening outside, the most crucial thing that you need is a ticket to get inside, right? So your appearance and all this is a ticket. Now your communication ability is what will help you sustain the conversation or sustain the impression that you're creating. So how do you communicate with your children? Hey, vada inge. Is that how you talk to him? Okay. Do you treat him like an individual and give him the opportunity to express himself? That becomes easier. Something as simple as here, as we're talking about communication and behavior, and as we were sharing for appearance as well, I'll give you some tips for parents, okay, especially with Indian community. And now that the whole community is becoming much global, is that something as basic as touch, right? So when we talk about the fifth sense, which is touch, is that shaking hand with a person is the first touch experience that anybody has with you. Now, there are some rules with shaking hands that we are not quite aware of, because it's very easy for us to imitate or to, just pick up the culture from Western cultures and just use it. One, now because of the pandemic that is going on, it is best not to shake hands at all. But when these things get over and when we are able to, there are certain rules that we are not aware of. Is that as a woman, it's always a woman who gives her hand first to shake. Okay, so if there is a man and a woman who are introduced in an official setup or in a setup where you're going to be shaking hands, the woman has to give the handshake first, irrespective of her designation. She could be an employee and there could be a boss who's been introduced. So the man never gives the hand out first. It's always the women. Now, so it's about why is it like that? So the standard rule is that, one, as an Indian community and globally, is that the women has to feel comfortable to be able to give her hand. So instead of getting into a very sticky situation where the man gives a hand, but a woman is not comfortable and she just says a namaste, or she just, just doesn't give a hand, it becomes very embarrassing. It becomes more like an ego hurt for a person, and it could straight away have a bad impression of the person. Rather, I'm telling all the men over here, where that you're introduced, please wait for the women to give the hand. And if she does, then you can shake. And this is about the first meeting. After 3-4 meetings, you know each other, then becomes a different equation. Now, as a woman, you don't have to take the pressure that I have to give my hand because I'm introduced to a boss, I have to give a good impression. No. Even if he's your boss or if he's a client, a very, very prospective client, if you think that you're not comfortable doing it for whatever reason you have, it's okay. It's okay to just say a namaste or just acknowledge with a bow or a nod and just take the conversation very easily. And it's absolutely okay if a man gives a hand in the front and you do not want to shake it. It's okay. You can just let it go. So this is something that I'm going to share as a, for the parents who are here listening. And there are small such things that keep coming up, whether it's at your behavior education, that if we are aware of, and if we practice it in our daily life, it becomes extremely easy for kids. It's like a second nature, because that's what they see. I'm sure all of you will agree that, and you must have told your husband or your husband must have told your wife, is that you're just like your mother or you're just like your father. After 10 years or 15 years into marriage, you're like, oh, you're just like him. It's because subconsciously as human beings, we tend to pick up things from our parents. So keeping this in mind and hoping that I have shared enough in terms of all these areas and keeping the time in mind, I'm going to open up this session into a question answer session if you have. But before that, there is something that I would like to share with you, which I think will kind of put everything that I spoke in the past 45-15 minutes into a nutshell for you to be able to understand. Once we have seen this, we will open it up for discussion. Okay?
Looks like rain again today. Dark clouds gather and fill the sky. Don't know how to talk to you, just know how to say goodbye.
Thank you, Ekta, for that wonderful session. And to end on that note, yes, we do agree children see and they do tend to imitate what they see. Now, I invite the parents to please raise your questions. We now move on to the question and answer session. You can feel free to raise your queries. Okay, we have a question on the chat box by Subhash Bujbal. Children takes mothers for granted. They just don't listen. They don't bother. But at the time they obey others like Mausi, etc. How should the mother act or react?
Yes. So yes, Mr. Subhash, that's a very valid and a very common question that happens. Even mothers say that they don't listen to me, but they listen to that. There are two aspects to this. One is that is everybody else in the house respecting the mother? So when the mother says, does the husband listen to it? Do the in-laws listen to it? What is the impression of the mother that is circulating in the house? So if there is a mother-in-law, it's just a scenario that I'm putting across. It could be any of these reasons. It could be a mother-in-law who says, "Unakku amma kinnume theriyala, na solradhu pannu." Or there is a husband who says, "Just do what I'm telling you to do. You don't know anything." And if the child is picking up these kind of things, he will not listen to his mother once he becomes a teenage. Because when he's young, he wants the mother. So mother is the best thing that happens, right? But as he grows, he starts realizing that, no, people think my mother doesn't know anything. So I shouldn't listen. Whereas I'm going to listen to somebody else who's more respectful. So that is one thing. The other thing is that what is the mother giving to the child? Is the mother always, taking out the house frustration on the child? Is the mother
seem to have lost her voice?
They're very abusive.
Sorry, there's a small technical glitch.
Have you lost it?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
you?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So when I was saying, two would be the relationship of the child and the parent. Now, is she there for the child when the child needs her? Okay. Is she a very nagging mother who's constantly complaining or constantly comparing? Look at that child. Look at that one's child doing better. You're doing nothing. So if that is the kind of relationship that they are building on, eventually the child, it's simple. Like as human beings, we all want to be accepted. We all want to be appreciated, right? You would like to be in a place where people talk good about you. So when the mother is constantly, I know it will be in the garb of saying, but I am trying to do good for my child, that's not helping the child. So it could be any of these reasons. And Mr. Subhash, I would like you to maybe look into these reasons and see which of these reasons are not working for the child and try and make amends in that reason. It could be, so if it's a family, like a whole family together, put some rules in the family that when the mother is talking, or we don't talk bad about the mother, like we don't negate when the mother says something. So on a table, mother will say, eat the broccoli. The child will start crying. So the grandmother will say, Pavoda, he likes it, no, give him the chocolate. Now what happens? What is the child understanding? He wants the chocolate. For him now, everybody is family. Now he's growing up to be like, I will go to the person who gives me more love, which is my grandmother. Now the mother is very irritated. Now there is a fight. So all these things the child is watching, and the child understands that I don't have to listen to my mother. Whereas if you can change it to the other way, where it is like the mother is doing it for your good. So how can we work together? I hope that answers your question, Mr. Subhash.
Thank you. Actually, we have with us some of our very close associates. I'd like for them to come forward and say a few words too. Aldam sir, are you there?
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Hi sir, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for inviting me.
No problem.
I'm listening to it.
All right, how is it going, sir? Please, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I like it so far. It's pretty good. What you guys are doing, it's fantastic. I love the attempt that's happening out here. And I'm really impressed by the number of people. We had more than 100 people come on this thing, which is awesome. Like, especially on a Sunday afternoon to get so many people is fantastic.
Yes.
You keep doing this more often, yeah? Good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We're really glad you could make it today.
Thank you so much, Sandhya.
Thank you. We have with us Yoga Chitra ma'am from NTC too. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, Sandhya, I'm here.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Great, ma'am. Would you like to say a few words?
Ekta, it was wonderful. Ekta, a wonderful topic that you have taken, and it is really required for all the parents to know certain things. Like, unknowingly, a lot of things have been done by the parents, wherein, sometimes we know that, but still we need somebody to highlight it and tell us. And it's really amazing. It would have been a very good tip for all the parents who have been listening here. And wonderful. And thanks, Ramna and Sandhya, for organizing such a wonderful platform. You have created for all the parents to know a lot of details. Like, I was really amazed about the colors that Ekta was talking about. See, we generally
Yes.
don't look into, like, or very consciously we are not looking into all those colors. But it was really awesome session, and thanks once again to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Glad to see you here. We have also Santosh sir from Stage 3 Event Management. Sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, sir.
Good evening. Ekta is a fantastic presentation. I feel Google also plays a lot of damage to children. So how do you feel as parents that we can counter this? Because whatever advice one gives, immediately they go on to Google and try to get answers.
Yes, that's an experience I will share, because like I said, I'm a parent too, and this happens to me also, that when I say something and they be like, no, let me Google. So I remember that when the lockdown started, and I was telling, my kids and my family kids that we have to have like a strict time. You can't play PUBG for like 6 hours continuously or a fortnight. And it's very important that you put the thing, put your time slots for everything. And then I remember my nephew comes running to me and he does research on Google and says, one of the best gamer, world's best gamer, who's won like $1 million, says that, he's made a video, like a TikTok video, which says that parents, appealing to parents that please, it's very important that now that kids cannot go out anywhere and kids cannot do anything, this is their only way of communication. So they're going to meet their friends in the chat room, like how we're meeting, like, in the PUBG and Fortnite, they meet their friends over there. So this is their way of socializing. Don't cut the socializing aspect from them, because they will feel lonely and they will be depressed and all that. So he brings that video to me and he says, look at this, this is why I'm telling you we should have at least 6 hours of playing, which, like you said, sir, is that the Google damage that is happening. Now, as a parent, I didn't want to say that that's wrong, because that's out there, and there were about few million likes to that one with all the kids saying yes to it. So I said, okay, you're right what you're saying. Now let's do one more Google and let's see what happens to your eyes when you're looking at screen for more than 2 hours. I said, I agree. I totally agree. 1 million people are saying, and we opened it up. And it wasn't funny, because when he went back and saw that, he was confused. And he said, oh my God, there are 1 million likes for people saying that more than 45 minutes of constant screen time can damage my eye. There were people who said that Apple CEOs and all these don't even give phones to their kids. So I would invite parents that as much as Google is like an a helpful tool for us, we have to let our kids know that how far is it helpful only by communicating. So you sit with the child and you, like a debate, bring out both the sides of the coin. Whether it is like in our house that I'm talking, I have a teenage daughter, so we sit in the evenings and we do a little bit of Googling about Trump and what he thinks is right and what is not right, and we kind of debate over it. And I would say this to you, sir, that it brings out so much of your child's personality that you were not aware of. And it's not just with Google, the same thing with television. I know that when we were children, our parents would close our eyes if there were scenes which were not appropriate. Maybe it was a kiss or a skimpy dressed woman. But I take this approach with my kids, is that they're old enough, and I sit and I ask, why in a snow-cladded mountain, when the guy is wearing jacket, why is this girl wearing no clothes? Like, what is the idea? So I'm able to start a conversation. How I can have this conversation with them and tell them that what do you think is right? This Google is telling this, but is everything about Google right? And we've had this, and it's worked tremendously well for me, even for Wikipedia, because I know that when there is homework given, they just go Google on Wikipedia, and everything is not right, because you can update. And I know that I went and I showed him, come, let's update something about Michael Jackson. And we could update whatever information we wanted. And she said, Mama, but that's not right. I said, exactly. So that's what thousands of people are doing outside, and you're believing it. Would you want to believe without testing? So that was my approach, and that worked for me and has worked for a lot of parents. I hope that helps you as well.
Thank you so much. And thanks to Ramash and Sandhya. Fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. We have one question in the chat box by Surya Ranjit. I think the parent has posted, my child wants my attention the whole day, or TV and phone. Can you please tell me how my child will be independent to do her work or play? She is 5 years old.
Yes. Surya, right? Yes. So
Surya, I think the parent of Surya.
the parent
Yeah.
of- okay.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, this is a question that you need to reflect on. The first thing is that your child is just 5 years old, so he needs your time. And now with, I don't know if it's now because of the pandemic or just, otherwise, children tend to feel insecure because of the atmosphere that's around them, thinking that their parent is not going to be there. What you could ideally start with is tell your child that 4 o'clock today evening, I am going to play with you and it's just going to be you and me. And I know he's 5 years old and he may not understand it. So ideally what you would do is you start with smaller breaks. So you spend 10 minutes of undisturbed time with the child. Basically what's happening here from the question that I understand is that the child feels insecure that I need my mama's attention because I'm not feeling secure enough. Security is something that we look forward to. So start with spending quality time, even if it is for 10 minutes. Take away everything, whether it's cooking or you're working and he's sitting next to you. No, just him and you, 10 minutes, or maybe start with 1 hour if you have that kind of a time, and then bring it down to smaller chunks and make it clear that, Kana, now I'm playing with you, but I'm going to be doing my work later. And you put your foot down. One more thing, what happens with parents is that when they start crying, okay, for 5 minutes, we give in. We'll say, no, now I played with you for 1 hour. Now I'm going to do my work. You should not disturb me. And after 15 minutes, he'll come crawling to you, or he'll come and poke and play. And then you're like, here and there. No. Then you kind of learn to segregate that and say, now this is my time. Now this is your time. 5 years, I also understand, is too young. So what you can do is you spend like an hour of quality time with the child, no phone, no gadgets, just both of you playing, having fun the way she wants you to have fun. Then you gradually move into a space where you are working and the child is right next to you and doing their work. Okay? So that the child knows that you're doing your work, I'm doing my work. And then on, it's like it doesn't happen in a single day, but it's a gradual process that will take your child from clinging on to you to moving and becoming independent. So he knows or she knows that, okay, after mama does the work, she will play for me 1 hour. That way, she will let you do the work. She will say, okay, mama, either finish pannidunga, then we will do. So this is again conversation and building it very, very gradually. So one fine day you have a board meeting and you want your child to go away for 2 hours, it's going to be very difficult. Yeah, I hope that helps you understand how you can handle that situation.
Thank you. Any other questions? I think we have time for one. Okay, we have a question here. My son is 8 years old. He watches ghost and thriller movies, but he's very scared to go to another room. I've explained many times, nothing like that. I want him to be bold. I think this will be the final question for the day. Maybe we can wrap up with this.
Yes. So now it's one thing is that you want him to be bold. The fact that he's watching it itself, he is bold. Okay, sometimes kids do this to just get the attention that no, mama, I can't go. Or, they want to have that attention. No, you come with me. I'm feeling scared. Because there is a thrill in watching these movies, but there's this little bit of a what if it happens to me. So when you're watching these movies, please sit with your child and watch and keep reminding your child that these are special effects. Idu or makeup, if your red makeup, this is there. So you constantly remind the child that. Then you start with it's a gradual exposure. And sometimes you have to first understand that whether it is that he's genuinely scared or is he just having the fun of grabbing attention. Because if he's scared, he will avoid watching the movie completely. But he's like this, I want to watch, but I don't want to. So for that, it's very gradual. You just keep a light on and you tell him, okay, you go and you come back. Okay. And above all, have a conversation with your child. Ask him, what about it is scary? So ask him, he'll say, no, on the bed keel and or ghost vandro. Or one hand will come from the window, because that's what he would have seen. Right? So you have a communication telling him, where did you see this? Okay, imagine if the child says that, no, from the bed one guy will pull me, or from the wall something will come. Okay, where do you see this? So when the child will say, on the movie, this happened or things, then you say, okay, but on the movie, it was like, it was like an act that they were doing. They had makeup and all that. But inga yaar pandrathu makeup? How will they come? So get into the logical reasoning with them. So how do you think adu kai varo? Movie la na or act irukku, or cut pannittu, they're doing it again. Avanga take pandranga. But here, how will it be? Then he will come up. Then he'll say, yeah, but he cannot come from my bed. There's only one door to my room. I am standing outside the door. Then he starts understanding that. So then he is bold. From what I see, he already is. And then also as an age, he's only 8 years old. So as he grows, he'll start understanding even more that it doesn't matter. And what also helps is watching these YouTube videos of making horror movies. That's why that blood is just one pouch of red paint or ketchup or something, and make it fun. Make it fun. Like, okay, let's just put some paint and see how we can become like that. That will help him to ease out that, okay, it's nothing, it's normal, I can do it. Yeah. So I hope that helps you.
Thank you. We have with us Satya sir. He's again a very close associate. I'd like for him to say a few words. Satya sir, are you there?
Oh, yes.
Hi sir, how are you?
Yeah. Oh, hi, Ekta. I thought I was going to send you this message to you. I was typing, and thanks for Sandhya for asking. It's always a pleasure listening to Ekta. I think it's about 5-6 years now, Ekta. So first time you came to BNI as a visitor, you took a lot of things in the subconscious mind. They help. Okay, I became very conscious, and they say age doesn't matter. Even at 58, you can be an image makeover, and your ABC is something which I really remind people whom I coach. And initial learnings happen through Ekta, and it's a fantastic session. I've been seeing it continuously. Okay, so I had to stop some other webinar halfway through and come here, and there is a reason for that. Thank you so much, Ramana and Divakar and Sandhya for organizing such a great session. And Ekta is the best. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You've always been this well-wisher of mine, and I really appreciate every word that you say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So before we formally conclude this session, I'd like to now invite Madhumita to please present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ekta, for this wonderful session. And all the etiquettes you shared with us were really useful. And the one specific thing on dealing on how all senses groom to make us presentable and to leave an impression was really a different perspective. Thank you, Ramana sir, Divakar sir, and entire RAC team for making this event a very successful and very interactive. Finally, thank you parents and students for making the session so interactive and successful. Thank you everyone, and hope to see you all next week in yet another RAC Talk Show. Thank you.
Well, with that, we conclude the session today. Thank you so much, Ekta, for such a wonderful. It was very like some brand new information, and some of the things which I haven't heard myself. So I'm sure all the parents agree that it was very interesting, very new, very fresh. So thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for being patient with all the answers. It was such a pleasure to have you here.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you, Ramana. Thank you, the whole team, for being there and supporting it. And all you parents, it's been a lovely audience. I've thoroughly enjoyed answering all the questions and sharing my knowledge with you. And wishing you all the best. Stay safe, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Taking your time. It's always a pleasure to have you here, Rat. Thank you very, very much for taking your time.
So thank you everybody for being here today. Until next time, good evening, good night.